Hello, my name is Justin Cochran, and today I would like to talk to you about why non-cellular growing methods may be the future of food. So soil growth has many pollutants. One being is large acreage farms, typical agriculture, as you like to think about it when it comes to corn and wheat, has lots of nitrogen-based fertilizers. Now this isn't necessarily a problem on a small scale. However, this nitrogen and phosphorus that is added as well as nitrogen in runoff can cause large algal blooms in the local water reservoirs that these things drain off into. So streams, lakes, watersheds causes a huge problem. There's also a huge concern of how much water gets wasted in typical agriculture. So I'd like to present with you a solution. Hydroponics. As defined, the growing of plants and nutrient solutions with or without an inert medium, such as soil, to provide mechanical support. So I know it says soil right there, but we're talking about very small amounts. We're talking about very small sections that hold the plant just in place until it's got a good enough root system to let it grow. So soil versus hydroponics. So this is on corn-based numbers. So 27,000 gallons per acre is used in order to grow. Compare that to hydroponics, you're looking at about a tenth. That's 2,700 gallons of water is going to be used. Another thing is that it's really necessary to put expensive fertilizers on the ground in hopes that the plants get the nutrients they need in order to get a good yield. Unfortunately, that's really unpredictable. The reason being is that every single time these crop areas are used, they're not rotated. So they just keep pulling and pulling and pulling. So this fertilizer is extremely necessary, extremely expensive, and extremely not the best for the environment. However, it is necessary to put these nitrogen, phosphorus, and other key elements into the water for hydroponics. However, it's a lot less. You're able to control the amount that goes into the plant a lot more readily than you are in traditional soil growing. And, fun fact, with most crops, it is a 4-to-1 yield. So hydroponics is 4 times the amount as traditional sowing. In some instances, it is 16 times. So, now I know what you're thinking. Hydroponics is the best method to grow food. Not necessarily. There are a couple different types of hydroponics. One is aquaponics. This is defined as a system of growing plants in the water that has been used to cultivate aquatic organisms. For the time length of this video, I will be ignoring this one. It is a very deep subject that has a lot of benefits, but for the sake of this video, we're going to breeze right on through it, but I would feel remiss in omitting it. What we are going to talk about is aeroponics. This is defined as the growing of plants by suspending their roots in the air and spraying them with nutrient solutions. So as you can see here, right here, we have a 5-gallon bucket and a water pump. This is one of the simplest methods that you can do, and that can be upscaled to very, very large farms. So let's talk about hydroponics versus aeroponics, shall we? So hydroponics, that's the very traditional method of growing in this sort of aqueous environment. It's able to handle almost any plant. It's fairly low maintenance. The problem is large amounts of water waste. So we're doing less than in soil methods, but this wastes a lot of water, simply because once you've used your solution in there, it loses nutrients. And it gets to a point where you can't calibrate it anymore, and you do have to dump all the water and start fresh. And on aeroponics, we have great versatility and scaling. We can go from a 5-gallon bucket all the way to large, large fields. Only uses about a fourth of traditional methods, and that's including this hydroponics. We're talking such little use in this. Completely growth medium free. You don't have to include soil, anything. You are gonna just have your root system exposed to water. It is able to handle root vegetables. Root vegetables do not like being wet for very, very long times. This happens a lot in hydroponics. It's a really hard thing to overcome, but aeroponics, since we're just keeping the roots moist, not a problem. And one thing that is a bit of a downside compared to hydroponics, there's a high involvement in the maintenance when something breaks down. When one pump goes, the whole system has to be taken care of. So it can lead to some problems if you got bigger systems. But why not soil growing? We've learned a little bit about both. So overall, there's less water waste. We're trying to conserve water. As fresh water gets more and more rare on our planet due to climate change, we need to conserve what water we've got. It's got an ability to cohabitate spaces. When you're growing traditionally in soils, you are talking large acreage areas that have nothing on them but plants. Here, we can toss a hydroponic, aquaponic greenhouse on top of a city building. Boom, we've got a food source. economic benefit. Once a hydroponic farm, aquaponic farm is started, it gets increasingly easier to run that farm, and you're going to see huge profits. We got reduction in harmful runoff water. Yes, we do have the wastewater that we have to take care of in both the other methods, but it's not runoff. We know that there is no more than X amount of chemical in there in that wastewater. Greater control of nutrient content. So that fertilizer soil, we're just hoping it gets all those nutrients. With this, we can figure out exactly how much the plant has absorbed. And finally, it's a reduction in pesticides in any of the systems that are enclosed. Pesticides are also a huge issue when we're talking about runoff, as it builds up through trophic layers. So that's kind of an added benefit of going with this. I would like to thank Dr. Hobble for giving me this assignment. I would also like to thank the Global Change Ecology class of 2019 spring semester for reviewing my video and giving it a grade. Thank you. I've had a wonderful semester with all of you, and I can't wait to see our sewer projects. Bye-bye.